Hey there. Today I'm looking to show you how to send an accountant copy of your QuickBooks file to your accountant. I'm guessing you're here because your accountant literally requested it. This is just a walkthrough of how you can generate that file, what it's doing, and then how you import the transactions back for any of the updates. Should be a very fast one, but again, very useful. So, the reason why your accountant is asking you for an accountant copy is that's actually a very specific reference. That's not just a backup copy of your QuickBooks file. An accountant copy is genuinely a different file type because what happens is your accountant can work on your QuickBooks file in their own software, right? There's a type of QuickBooks Desktop they purchase that's literally QuickBooks Accountant, where they can make all their adjusting entries for before a certain date without affecting your live data. So let's say you're trying to close fiscal year 24. Well, we'll set a cutoff date for the last day of 2024, and they can only make entries before that date. It will make it so you can't make any adjustments to that period, but you can keep making entries in 25. So it allows essentially you guys to work in tandem without affecting each other. So first and foremost, we have to be in single user mode as always. The way we move to single user mode is File, switch to single user mode. Another thing I'd like to say about using accountant's copies is it's really useful because you don't have to give your accountant access to your server to access the local QuickBooks file, right? It allows you not have to create that extra machine or whatever it should be, which to me makes this a very valuable resource for them to be able to update things that they need. So look at that. We are now in single user mode and we are good to go. So where we are going to go is we're going to load. Now we are going to go to our file, send company file, accountant's copy, send to accountant. It then pops up with basically telling you of, hey, what's an accountant's copy? And it's literally describing what I described at the beginning of this, but just a, hey, you're sending your accountant a copy of this so that you guys can work both in tandem. So we'll hit next because this is purely informational. And then what we have to do is pick a dividing date. What that means is, like I said before, the accountant can work on all transactions before this date, and we can work on all transactions after this date. So we're going to say our dividing date is the last day of December 24, because we'll say that we are a calendar year company and that's what we're closing our books for. So then it prompts you for your accountant's email address and your email address. I'm going to fill this out off screen so you can't see it. And what this will do is send your accountant a link to be able to download this file because the files themselves aren't like small in nature. So then you're going to need to make a password for this file, right? Because you are sending them your entire financial transactions in history. This is some important data, so you want to make sure it's complex, and you'll need to provide this to your accountant to be able to open the file. So I will make mine, and then you'll have to re-enter your password and just make sure it matches. So then what we need to do is send the link. So we'll click send, and I'll hit OK. So now it is creating my accountant's copy file, and it's going to take a little bit, right? Because this is we're not sending a small amount of data. Look at that. It's telling us it sent it, it was successful, and it's been uploaded. Our accountant will be notified and will be able to download the file. And I will show you what that looks like on your accountant's end. So for context, your accountant will end up getting an email notification from QuickBooks Desktop where it will prompt them to transfer the file. They can click download, and that's when they will enter the password that you provided them to be able to use that accountant's copy that you sent them. So once your accountant does send you the changes, where you'll go through to import them back in is just File, Utilities, I'm sorry, File, Send Company File, Accountant's Copy, and then I typically have them send a file back, but you can also do it from web. And what it will do is it'll allow you to import it, and that will close it out. But let's say you erroneously did this, or you don't want to actually have the accountant's copy with the changes pending. If you did make a mistake, all you have to do is that send company file, accountant's copy, remove restrictions. And what it does, it puts you back into normal mode, and then you can edit before that date. So there is no longer a QuickBooks accountant copy hanging out there. Only do this if you are not going to be accepting any of the changes. If your accountant is working on any transactions for a prior date period, you can't have entries. You can't have entries that are changing it, right? Because that means that the data that they're working with is null and void. So you should only be turning this off if truly you're going, hey, they are not working on this anymore. But yeah, again, another pretty quick one, but I hope a helpful one. So if there's any questions in regards to QuickBooks as a whole or anything I can do to help, please feel free to comment below. But have a good one. Thanks. Bye.